Across America, too many of our heroes return home only to face another battle, the fight for stable housing. Veterans are overrepresented in the homeless population, often caught in a system that is complex, slow, and full of barriers. At VetMentors, we're changing that narrative. For over 20 years, we've been boots on the ground, not just identifying the problem, but building real solutions. That's why we created the U.S. Military Veterans Educational and Resource Guide book series, a groundbreaking collection designed to educate, equip, and empower. These guidebooks are written not only for veterans, but also for the communities, organizations, and leaders who serve them. From step-by-step housing models to funding strategies, this series gives social workers, case managers, realtors, and first responders the tools they need to act with speed, dignity, and impact. VetMentors believes housing is not charity. It's a mission, a responsibility, and a pathway to restoring honor. Every guidebook in this series is a resource designed to make sure no veteran is left behind, and no community has to say, "We didn't know how to help." This is how we turn challenges into victories. I'm Yvette Jones Swanson, Army veteran, CEO of VetMentors LLC, and I invite you to join us in rewriting the story for America's veterans.
Good evening, everyone, and welcome back to another episode of Boots on the Ground. My name is Yvette Jones Swanson, Army veteran. For those of you who didn't know, that's me in the picture right there at the ripe old age of 19. And I became an Army veteran at the age of 19. If you don't know that story, go back and watch those videos. I am also the National Veterans Homeless Housing Advocate, housing strategist, consultant, and contractor in the GovCon space for professional services. I hold 15 certifications, federal, state, local, counties, to just say, hey, she knows what she's talking about with this homeless veterans housing stuff. Let's give her a certification for that knowledge and that experience. So over 22 years, I have been housing homeless veterans, from homeless through their transition. And this is where a lot of operators stop. They stop at the transition piece and call it co-living or independent living. And veterans stay right there. They don't move on. Veterans housing is a series of activities, not just one-stop shop. I don't teach you just how to create a veteran shared living space. I teach you to do veteran shared housing, independent housing, transitional housing, permanent housing, and home ownership. So I've taken veterans from homelessness through their transition to rentals, to home ownership, to helping them become investors and business owners. And that's what I do with operators. I reached out to one of my clients. He purchased the book, and this is your foundational book. So if you have not gone to my website, or if you have not gone to my bio over here on TikTok to get the foundational book, A Guide to Veteran Shared Living Models, included in this book is 𝐒𝐈𝐍 and SSVF. That's your foundation. Otherwise, you're going to be like, I just want to house veterans. And you don't know how. You're just putting them in a room, in a bed, and you're leaving them there to rot. Not helping them do anything because you have not set up a program. And I was getting ready to say, I reached out to one of my clients one of my customers who bought this book. And I asked him, I said, hey, how you doing? Haven't seen you around in the group, because I do have a private group. Everybody is not in my group. I don't teach everybody because everybody's not ready to be this committed to housing veterans from transition to rentals to home ownership. And I teach my operators how to control the flow in your portfolio. I don't think y'all heard me in the back. I don't think y'all heard me in the back. When you properly house a veteran through transition, they have to go somewhere. Where are they going? Because otherwise, you know, we call you guys in our community who are doing this veteran co-living and independent living money grabbers. Because we know, as a veteran, we know how, we don't know how, but we know we get benefits. We may not know how we get those benefits. What departments do we go to submit claims? You know, where do we go to submit an application? But we know, as a veteran, we know that we get something. We know we do. But who's out here in the community helping us obtain those benefits? So I'm on a round table with it's 14 of us. Bravo. Hey, Romulus. So I'm on a round table with the VBA, that's the Veterans Benefits Administration. And our round table is to narrow down, I suppose, how we bring benefits to the community, because a lot of veterans don't know. You know, I was a veteran at 19, be a veteran. Well, you put on a uniform and you go to basic training and you get out of the Army at 19. What are you? You're a veteran. So I became a veteran at 19. And I've been fighting in this veterans community for 41 years. 41 years as an advocate, as a realtor, as a consultant, as a contractor, housing and teaching housing in our veterans community. So the veterans don't know, you know, okay, yeah, I can go to a transitional unit, and this is what I teach you in this book, to create programs. So I was telling y'all about the one customer that I have who purchased this book. A lot of them purchased the book, but the one I reached out to just today, because I said, hey, you know, we're friends now on Facebook. I can see you. And now we're friends here on TikTok. We're friends everywhere. So how you doing? How's the book coming? Have you chosen a demographic to serve? Are you thinking about the programs that you can create? Have you gotten in contact with the organizations that have the funding? Over $5 billion of funding in our homeless veterans community. So do you know who your agencies that you're going to connect with so that they can refer veterans to you and pay you when they get there? Have you done that yet? He said, no, I'm just now understanding that's what veterans housing really is. But for those out there talking about, I want to do veterans housing, I'm just going to get a room and stick 2 of them in a room. You know, what purpose is that if the veteran can get benefits to rent a unit? You know, they can go back to the VA, to the social worker, go to homeless walk-in, because in a transitional housing setup, they're still considered homeless. They don't have a lease. They don't have a lease to sleep in your bed. No, they don't. So they go back to the VA, and the VA said, you know what? Yeah, you're right. Because when you got to leave that transitional unit, you're still going to be homeless. So now we want to prevent homelessness. So yeah, you qualify for a 𝐒𝐕. I teach my operators this. The veteran has to leave your unit from your transitional unit. They got to go rent something with some more VA funding. Where are they going? You're going to put them out and go send them someplace else that they're going to get denied for? Because that's what our community of realtors do. Our community of realtors, I wrote this book to teach realtors as well. And our community of unknowledgeable investors, they're going to say no to your 𝐒𝐕 voucher because they don't understand, first of all, that it is a federal program that's been approved by the VA and by HUD. So now you got a veteran out there with no other place to go. They can't come back to your transitional housing. They have a voucher and they want to go rent someplace. But because, again, we have unknowledgeable realtors and unknowledgeable investors who I teach how to work effectively with this population. So you have a transitional unit where you're going to help them with their benefits, federal, state, local, all of their benefits. And hey, hopefully they get a 𝐒𝐷 voucher. If not, because they might already be 100% service connected, but renting a room somewhere because where they live, rent may be too high or the housing market might be off kilter or whatever. But they can still get a VA loan. Now, so they can go from your transitional housing unit to your property that you just rehabbed. And they like it, so they can use that VA loan to buy it. So there's a lot of ways that you can move veterans through transition instead of just sticking them in your bed just so you can go there every single month and get a check. A great disservice to our veterans. And I don't teach you that way. I teach you how to tap into $5 billion that's in our community. But if you don't know how to tap into that money, then I suggest you follow me for more and register for my master class that I have. That's the second level to this right here. This is your foundation. You got to buy this book and read it so you'll understand fully what this second the master class is. Oh, I just had to get that off my chest because again, somebody contacted me today to say, Yvette, what do you think about these operators with their co-living facilities and their independent living homes? And we have veterans in those homes. I'm like, well, I'm not the police. All come on my platform. I am here to educate you all the difference. Masterclass, you'll hear how can effective as an investor. Hold on. My assistant and my coach wrote this for me, so I'm going to read this to y'all because y'all never would have met me, right? Because I never came on public to teach anything to anybody. I've always been inside the VA as a contractor. Okay, that's where I was at the city colleges as a contractor. At the municipal federal prison, Bureau of Prisons and Cook County Jail, so that's where I was. I just started coming online after this administration got rid of people at the VA, including contractors. Y'all, anyway. So that's why I'm here publicly to teach and work in this. So my assistant, they wrote this for me. The purpose, this is my second time reading it. So y'all going to hear what my master class is for and who it is not for. I understand the purpose of this event in one sentence, because I do a lot of chitter chattering, because I think it's a lot for y'all to learn. To show real estate investors and property owners how to create guaranteed recurring rental income while making a meaningful impact in housing America's veterans through government-backed programs, proving that it's possible to profit with purpose, not uncertainty. Should I read that again? What I simply do, and what this one-line sentence is saying, that I show you through my education and through my many books. I got 10 of them in this series, U.S. Military Veterans Educational and Resources Guide book series, right there. And I'm also the publisher. And I'm also a veteran, Army veteran. I was also a homeless female veteran with no resources. So when I became a realtor and I started seeing the exact same thing that was happening to me, that's still happening all of these years later, I couldn't leave this community. I couldn't leave this community. And now I'm here to teach you all how to work effectively in this community as a provider. And not just somebody, oh, I'm just going to get some beds in a bedroom and put them in a bed. You know, if I don't get a text message every day, I'll get a text message like every other day. Today, it was right in my face. Yvette, what do you think about these people with housing veterans, homeless veterans, and they put them in a bedroom? I'm like, what they don't know is they can help veterans even more while helping themselves. We've got, I always like to show the green folder. The misunderstanding, hold on, let me see. Let me put that up here. The misunderstanding is many of us don't know because no one is telling us but you. I know, because see, I don't have I don't have anything to lose. I want you all to gain. I have a passion for this. Okay, then learn. Passion is one thing, but knowing how to do the business is another. Your passion is not going to take you to the business. So as I was going to get to was where this money is. Okay. And this is a business. It's not just I'm putting somebody in a bed. I'm talking about this is billions of dollars. Even the operators who have co-living and shared living and all those other livings where the people don't go anywhere. How do you secure the homes? Get my book. Get my book. Get my book. I don't as in the book and read. Then you can be in my group. I can teach you even more. So, and this takes money. This is not jump in. I'm gonna start doing this. Ain't nobody gonna do your start. This is your business. And working with the government, working with, because all of this I'm about to do all now, the purpose of this event that I do my masterclass on every Thursday is to show real estate investors, property owners, how to create guaranteed recurring income while making a meaningful impact by housing America's veterans through government-backed programs, proving that it's possible to profit with purpose and not uncertainty. I've been housing homeless veterans for over 22 years and got paid. You hear me? Got paid, whether it was as a realtor, as a contractor, as a consultant, educating my investors who have property. So you take my masterclass, you'll see all of this and how you can get started. The link to my masterclass over here on YouTube, LinkedIn, and Facebook is in the comment section. Send me a DM with your email address, and I'll send you the link to the masterclass, and you can join. But I would suggest you first learn, get this book. I'm telling y'all, it's just is. Oh, my head! It makes my head spin when I look, and I'm proud of everybody who stepped out and opened this business where they are housing homeless adults and they're living in a bedroom, 2 or 3 to a room. That's their business, so they're making money. I don't down anybody who has made a difference for their families and the difference for the homeless veterans or the homeless people who they're housing. What I'm saying is that's lane one. What I'm saying is you want to get into this business, to help people, veterans. So I don't know about civilians benefits, but I know about our benefits as a veteran. Okay. I'm an Army veteran. Y'all see me up there. That's me right there. Okay. I know about our benefits. Our benefits will also pay for the veteran who's sleeping in that bed, because these veterans would have come from an agency that you are associated with in order to get paid from. And you could be associated with these agencies that I'm going to share with you in just a moment in a few different ways. How, Yvette? Well, you get the book, and I tell you that in the book. And then I teach you that in my other master classes, and the master class that I have coming up this Thursday. So let me share with y'all some of this money that's in our homeless veterans community. I'm going to read it right to you. And if you want to go do your research, go do your research. If you are in my group, I send this to you. But I don't work for everybody. Washington, the Department of Veteran Affairs today on August 27, 2025. Y'all might want to write this down every time I come on. You might want to have notes, a pen, and something to write with. The Department of Veteran Affairs today, August 27, 2025, announced more than $818 million in grants to 235 organizations across the country to help veterans who are homeless or at risk of becoming homeless. What does that mean, Yvette? What does that mean to you? I just read it to you. If I just read to you that $818 million has already been distributed and put in over 235 organizations across the country's bank accounts to do what? To help veterans who are homeless. What does that mean, Yvette? These agencies on this list here in Illinois, and I know all of them because that's how I was getting paid. Because I know where the money is, and I know how to get the veterans housed using the organizations that have received this funding. But if you don't know how, then you're going to continue saying, I'm going to do veterans housing. I'm going to put 2 in a bed, and I'm going to go get the money every month. You want to share in this. Alexa, resume play. You want to share in $2,053,998. That's one of the organizations that I can ring. Yes. I have a veteran over here who is about to move in, and he needs a security deposit. He needs a first month's rent. He needs some furniture, whatever it is. Here's another organization that I work with, $4,738,105. Alexa, resume play. This organization, is this the one? Yeah, this is the organization. They saw my availability list because I work with providers in the community, providers who have and who I have shown to set up veteran shared housing models and who have rental units. So I say, look, here's the list of apartments, condos, and houses that I have available. And they said, oh, Yvette, we have 5 veterans who are looking. I said, okay, good. What I'm going to do is put together a housing tour. You bring all those veterans, you're going to follow me, and we're going to go to each building. 2 of them, you walk right around the corner to. The other one, you drive across town. All 5 veterans were approved that day. That's how I train my providers. You say you want to house homeless veterans. Really now? How? How do you want to do that? What type of housing do you have set up for them? What type of programs do you have set up for them to connect yourself with this first pool of money, which is $818 million? But wait a minute. The government said, the United States Department of Veteran Affairs said on September 23rd, 2025, that's just 1 month after this $818 million. 1 month later, they came back and said, you know what? We got in so many great applications for this grant. They were all approved for funding, and we need to get the funding in the community because all of the research that we have clearly says we have too many homeless veterans. So now these additional, I'm going to read it to you. The United States Department of Veteran Affairs, VA, announced Tuesday, September 23rd, 2025, it will distribute 84 million in grants to 176 organizations tackling veteran homelessness across the United States. So what does that tell you? They got money in the community. And these are just from 2 memos, just 2, 1 month apart. This totaled almost $900 million amongst 411 organizations. And you guys still want to say, I'm going to do veterans housing and stick 2 of them in a room and come back in a month and collect the money. When these organizations need you, they don't have the housing that you have. They don't. They have the funding to spend in the communities on the housing that you have. But in order for you to tap into this funding, you have to have your program set up. And that's where a lot of people are like, I don't want to do all that work. Meaning what I'm hearing is you really don't want to help these veterans then. Because why is the government pouring all this money in the community? If it's not supposed to be used, it is supposed to be used. I've seen organizations over the years that had their fundings pulled back. Well, not really pulled back, but they didn't get it the next year. I call old girl and I'm like, hey, where are you? I didn't get the grant this year. Well, what were you trying to do? You were trying not to use it. That's why you didn't get it. So now, let me see what somebody else says. Good evening, Branson Hill. Thank you for advocating for our veterans every single day. My pleasure. And good evening, good evening. And over here on TikTok, I don't see nothing. Y'all not saying nothing. If y'all saying something, then say it again because I wasn't looking. I was busy talking. So send me a message. You want to join my masterclass Thursday. Because it really does hurt my heart that y'all, say, you say you want to house homeless veterans, but you don't know how to do it right. So you do anything, you do what you see people doing in the mainstream social media. I can teach you how to make $10,000 a month. Okay. Listen, you do the program the way I teach you. I can teach you how to make millions. Ooh, several on your own contract. Then you're really helping a veteran. And that's just one-sided. I didn't even show y'all the next level to this, but let me show you some more money. This is a NOFO, this notice of funding opportunity. This notice of funding opportunity came out this year, 2020. 26. This is a grant. And this, I'm going to read it because sometimes I like to ad lib and mess. So I'm just going to read what it says here on the paper. And feel free to do your own research if you're not in my group, because if you're in my group, I send you all of this information. How you get in my group? Buy a book. Let me know you bought a book. Take a picture, smiling, so I can put you on the map. This is our map back here. Right now, we're in 30 states of people, housing providers, soon to be, who are housing providers. And also, when I first started that map, I actually started putting homeless veterans on that map, who I was able to send resources to so that they can get housed. I'm going to talk to y'all about this NOFO. And if you haven't done so already, over here on Facebook, LinkedIn, and TikTok, if you're not already following me, please, you can clone me, and that's what I'm teaching you to do. Hey, Joelle Wallace. Hey now. Yes, VetMentors family. So Panella Page, I wish I could clone you here. That's what I teach you how to do. I want everybody to clone the process, not me, the process. Because you're going to have your own flair, but you're still going to be able to do it. That's how you do it, by following me and taking my master classes, taking my intensive classes, because that's where you get the real education. On top of reading the books. I don't know who went to school and they didn't have a book. I don't know. Who did that? I don't care what. I used to teach on the college level, and all of the classes I taught, we all had books. When I was in high school, in grammar school, didn't y'all have books? So that's why I have books. Education is reading and then participating in your lab. That's what my master class and my intensives are. Those are your labs. That's your lab work. So that's how you clone me. It's by doing everything I'm teaching you. I'm not holding anything back anymore. I've been talking about this for the past 20 years here in the Chicagoland area. I'm a licensed realtor and licensed real estate instructor. I wrote a class back in 2014 and I taught it for a few years. And the realtors, they pushed back so hard because nobody really understands how to connect. The connection gets lost. How do you connect the funding, which I'm showing you right now, to a homeless veteran to pay for housing? What's housing, Yvette? Housing, let me show you. Y'all are providers, right? So you're going to have a house. This is where the veteran is going to live. Or the veterans, if you're doing veteran shared housing, this is where they're going to live, in this house all together. And then they're going to be like, wait a minute, I got to still tell y'all about the NOFO. I got a little bit off track, but it's still on target. Okay. So you're going to have the veteran shared living model right here. And then one of these veterans or multiple of these veterans, they're going to get a HUD-VASH voucher, and then they're going to move to your rental unit right here. Yes. And then have them in your program, going through a program, and then you're going to help them use their next benefit to buy a house. And why not a house that you rehabbed? Why not a block of houses that you're now calling this your veterans village? I've designed several veteran villages, by the way. So that's what I teach you in my intensive. How to shared living model to the next level. Still receiving federal funds. Then to the next level, where the veteran can now use VA loans, still federal funds. And then to the next level, where now they're doing it too. To do what? To go back and house homeless veterans and take them through the same cycle. You want to help end homeless veterans homelessness? You really want to help end veterans homelessness? Then educate yourself so you can educate the veterans. In my books, I even teach you how to do veterans housing workshops. If you want me to come and do a housing workshop in your community, just let me know. I'm for hire. I would be glad to do it. And this is part of your training as well. So the next set of money, we talked about the $818 million to 235 organizations in your state as well. Drop what state you're in, drop what city and state you're in, so we can pull up some of your money. And while I'm sitting here talking, I'm going to reach back over there and let you know how much is in your community. I'll let you know a couple organizations and how much funding they have in their organization for veterans homelessness and at risk of being homeless, to keep them from being homeless. So this NOFO came out for 2026, and it's on sam.gov. If you're not registered in sam.gov, then you're not getting none of this money. You want a business that you can really master, and then create a legacy for your family, get your family involved. This is a business where look, Papa was in the military, my dad was in the military, I was in the military, and this business can live beyond you. My daughter is graduating this spring or summer. And this is all she's ever heard her whole life. Housing homeless veterans. Oh, Mama, they're about to buy a house. Yep, let's go do the final walkthrough with them. Oh, they're about to move in a condo downtown because they were homeless in a U-Haul. Yep, let's go see the condo. You're about to do a workshop. Yep, I want you to greet all the veterans as they come in and make sure everybody gets this handout. You're going to do an evaluation on a property right now, Mama? Yep, let's go. So she grew up in this. So quite naturally, what she's majoring in at the university is real estate and business. She's ready. So she will be a part of my company, which is VetMentors, LLC. I made myself something real cute. It's a tie. I saw one of the department heads with one on, but hers was the Department of Procurement Services for the city of Chicago. I'm like, girl, I'm going to do me one. So, and also everybody that's in VetMentors group, in our Veterans Homeless Housing Advocacy, and will receive, I know how to get the patches done now for our logo. So that's what we're going to have, a patch. And then you can put it on anything you want to put it on, because I haven't gotten to the point where I know how to get the patches on the clothes yet. My assistant is in the Philippines. He doesn't know how either. So, but anywho, y'all got the $818 million. You have the $84 million. I didn't even tell y'all about the money that came before that. Now I'm going to tell y'all about the SSVF, that's Supportive Services for Veteran Families, expects to award approximately $855 million via this Notice of Funding Opportunity, NOFO, with over 200 awards, with the range of, meaning these organizations will get a range of these dollars amounts that I'm about to tell you. $262,981 to $23,153,846 in awards. So all of these organizations, the 411 organizations plus the additional 200, so that's 611 organizations in our communities right now, with over $1 billion on these 3 memos. That this money right here goes with the veteran shared living models. And it can go with 𝐒𝐈𝐍, which I'm about to talk about next. How it goes with these, that's for y'all to come to my class and learn. So this money that I'm about to talk about, oh my God, I feel so sorry. I feel so sorry for a lot of our veterans who are on 𝐒𝐈𝐍 right now. I really do. I really do. I hear horror stories from veterans across the country. There's a veteran family, a veteran, and she's all over my YouTube channel and also a lot of videos over here on TikTok, and they always tag me. But anyway, she's a homeless senior veteran, about 3 tours of duty, and she has a caregiver. Her house was fraudulently stolen, and she became homeless in January of 2025. She went to the VA, nothing. Went to the VA, nothing. Went to the VA, nothing. Went to the VA in March. Okay, here you can have a voucher. Got issued a voucher in Charlottesville, Virginia in March of 2025. March. All of March. April, May, June, July, August, September, October, November. 9 months. They found me in August, I believe, August or September. And I started advocating, contacting realtors, contacting a board, contacting the National Association of Realtors. All we need is one realtor. That's it. Who can find her a unit and accept this 𝐒𝐈𝐍 voucher on. This is a federal housing program for homeless veterans who qualify for this. This is money to pay their rent. 9 months with a voucher in hand. We call it money in hand. 9 months and not one person said yes. Everybody kept denying. You got bad credit? You're denied. You, let me see. What was another one? I don't even know. No background. And you're homeless. We can't come and see where you live. Oh, you live in a tent by the creek or in your vehicle. Where are you going to be? You know, that's not a place for me to come and verify where you live. You're denied. 9 months. And because she could not find housing, her caregiver could not find housing, the department terminated her voucher. Now, just imagine this. Just imagine we had a knowledgeable investor in Charlottesville, Virginia, who said, you know what? I'm on Team VetMentors. We are veterans homeless housing advocates and providers. That's who we are. So yeah, I'm going to accept this voucher because I know the strength that it has. And I know, thank you for joining my, hey, Jose. And I know the meaning behind this. This voucher was given to this veteran because the veteran is homeless. This is a federal benefit by 2 federal departments. So who are you to say no? That's what pisses me off. So I wrote a bill, and I've already given that the language of everything. I wrote everything, and the 38th district state rep here in Illinois, Debbie Myers Martin, she has it. And it's being whatever they do to it up there to bring it back to me so I can review it to make sure all the wording that I wanted to say is said. Then they're going to present that bill. And this bill is to protect veterans who are going out in the community with guaranteed funds that are protected by the government to get approved for housing. Because Otherwise, we're going to continue to have homeless veterans if we don't teach the providers in our communities how to work with these programs. I just told y'all about $1.8 billion over here. Those are all programs. And I just told you about 𝐒𝐈𝐍𝐊. That's another program. And if you don't know how to work with programs, then you don't have veterans housing. You just what we call a money grabber. I want to thank y'all for being here. I really do. This is very serious to me, and it's very emotional for me because I was a homeless female veteran in the winter time here in Chicago for several winters. I was a homeless female veteran in the hot summer times here in Chicago several summers. So I know what it's like to be a homeless veteran and to get denied housing because we don't have operators in our communities who are educated on programs. But back then I didn't have a program. I just had a little job at the City of Chicago Department of Revenue. And they still said no because me and my younger sister looked suspicious, like we were dating and not trying to be sisters and not trying to be homeless with jobs to rent an apartment. So I know what it's like to be homeless, to be denied, to be thrown out like a wet, dirty rag. I would go to the VA and sit down and talk to these social workers. Let me get the book because I also wrote a book to educate social workers on how to work effectively with homeless veterans when they come and sit down in their chair. You know how many social workers I've trained over the years down at Jesse Brown VA and 𝐋𝐈𝐍𝐿 VA and these social service agencies that I know where the money is to go get? A lot. I can't even tell you how many. That's just how many it was. The letters are in the book. When you buy the book, all you have to do is open it and go read their letters that they wrote me because I put them in the book. Social workers do intakes. Yeah, they do. They do intakes. They do intakes for the programs that they're working on. And people say, "Oh, you're homeless. Just go to the VA veteran. The VA, they'll take care of you." Not if they're not working on that program. Did you not just hear me say there are 611 organizations nationwide? These organizations don't have an office at the VA. So how would the social worker know about all of these organizations, even though the money came from the United States Department of Veteran Affairs? The social workers don't know about all of these programs. They know about a few of them, but not all of these programs. As an operator, that's for you to know because that's where you're going to be getting your veterans from and your payments from. But it's not up to the social worker to say, okay, well, you know what? You don't qualify for the program that I just did the checklist on. But you might qualify for one of these other programs. A lot of them don't know. More than 90% don't know. They'll say, okay, go to the CRRC and see who's over there. Or yeah, so that's why we have so many homeless veterans and not enough connectors. And that's what my program teaches you. Let me read it to you again. In one sentence, the purpose of the event on Thursday, my program, is to show real estate investors and property owners how to create guaranteed recurring rental income while making a meaningful impact by housing America's veterans through government-backed programs providing proving that it is possible to profit with purpose, not uncertainty. But if you don't know about the programs as a provider, then you just got some beds in a bedroom and in the house, and you're making your money. You're making your money. But if you're not operating for the benefit of providing a better life, a better outcome for our former homeless veterans who are now shacking up in your co-living or shared living property, just so you can come every month to get paid. But you don't have a program, you don't have any linkage agreements to receive veterans so that you can help them through the program that you wrote that's in alignment with the program that they could pay you for, then you're not very effective. You're not helping our people. You're not helping our homeless veterans get on their feet. You're helping yourself stay on your feet, but you're not helping our people. My program, even if you are an operator, I'm not down in anything that you're doing. If you are an operator or you're looking to become an operator of veteran shared living models, or you call it whatever you call it for yourself, but you have veterans in your home, join my program, because I teach you, like I just read in my one-line sentence, but this is what I've been doing for over 22 years, taking a veteran from homelessness through their transition to a rental unit, to home ownership, to becoming investors, because veterans can use their VA loan for not only single family homes, but 2, 3, and 4 units. They're investors, to becoming business owners. Because once you are an investor, you have to operate that property like a business. And guess what? That is another benefit in our veterans community. Illinois, and not just Illinois, this is all states. So it could be Nevada, veteran entrepreneurship programs and procurement. Did I say programs again? Yep, I said programs again. Did I say procurement? Procurement is government business. Programs and procurement? Oh, yeah. So yeah. Oh, I didn't even tell y'all this. Hold on. I didn't even tell y'all this. Those who follow me may know, but those who don't, this is your first time hearing. This Elite SDVOB network. So I am on the executive board of the Elite SDOV network here in Illinois. Elite SDOV. SDOV is Service Disabled Veteran Owned Business. And we're looking for you. We're looking for veterans who own businesses, who want to get connected to businesses in your community to do business with. What type of business? Contracting business. So check this out. These organizations, they need you. But how can they hire you? How can they partner with you if your business isn't really a business? To connect you to this government money. And I'm just being as basic as possible, because I work with homeless veterans. So my vocabulary is not going to be, I don't like to talk over anybody's head. Nobody. I don't want anybody doing that to me, and I'm not going to do that to anybody. So I'm going to keep it because this is brand new to you. Once you get into my groups, that's when we'll start talking the language. But right now, I just want y'all to understand that veterans housing is not just sticking a veteran in a bedroom. We have a lot of benefits, and your program can help bring these veterans to these benefits. You're doing well financially while you're doing good for others. Yeah. As a former homeless female veteran and a wife of domestic abuse by the hands of my then serving U.S. Marine husband, being homeless from 1987 to 1993, homeless and a battered wife with no benefits from the VA. People say, why didn't you leave? Leave with what? I didn't have a job. I'm 21 years old, young, no education. What? I had a roof over my head. If I leave and go for 3 days, 5 days a week, and come back, things settle down. They burst back up. I got to leave again with nowhere to go. Nowhere to go. I didn't leave. I couldn't leave until I got a degree and a job. That's when I was able to leave. Do you know what that does to a person? And then being discharged from the military at such a young age. I went because I needed to retire and have the life really that I have now. But that's the life that I wanted to create while being in the military. I wanted to retire. But God saw other things for me to do. He wanted me to get a taste of this, a taste of that, taste of this, get enough of it so I can come here 41 years later and still be here advocating and housing and teaching how to move these veterans from those awful situations, helping them use the benefits that we have from the federal government, the state, the county, the local, these philanthropy organizations. We are the beneficiaries of Uncle Sam. And because of that, organizations, they want to give. But if you don't know the organizations that are out there, then it's impossible to receive. So I'm not going to stay over my time. I got like 3 minutes left. Let me read some comments and concerns or whatever else y'all had to say. People, okay, let me see. Good evening. Okay, I saw that one. Detroit, Michigan, and I plan to move to Atlanta, Georgia area. So we've got in Michigan, we have Buddy in Inkster, Michigan. In Atlanta, Georgia, who do we have in Atlanta? When you join and you start coming to the intensive, that's when you get to meet everybody from across the country. We've got Philadelphia, Pennsylvania. We've got Inkster, Michigan. We've got Chicago. We've got Charlottesville, Virginia. She's now she understands the program and she's a realtor. So that's even better. And then we've got, I'm trying to remember everywhere. I mean, they're, it's 30 states. So they're all over the place. So when you start taking the classes and participate in the lives and stuff, then you'll meet everybody. People not educated in my area is real talk. Yeah, it is. It is. And then I love the Innovation Housing Solutions Guide to Veteran Shared Living Models because it's easy read, and understand. I know. Listen, I'm not trying to confuse anybody here. I want everybody to get this straight. And if you do it, hello, I really want to learn what is the first thing I need to do. Get this book, not this one. That's the third one. Get this book right here. Go to my bio and get this book. This is your foundations book. When you get the book, my email address is in the book. Take a picture, send me the picture, your city and state, and I will bring you into my fold. And that's where you start getting educated. I also have a master class that I do every Thursday. So Monday, Tuesday, and Wednesday, I come live on 4 medias: TikTok, YouTube, LinkedIn, and my Facebook page, real estate page. Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday. On Thursday, I do a live masterclass on, this is my masterclass, I'm going to read it. The purpose of the event is to show real estate investors and property owners how to create guaranteed recurring rental income while making a meaningful impact by housing America's veterans through government-backed programs, proving that it's possible to profit with purpose, not uncertainty. That's what my staff has me. I got to read that. So to be clear, and there are several different housing models, and I teach you all of them, but not in one masterclass. This masterclass is on one of those housing models, but I show you how to link what you learn in this book to the housing model that I teach you in this upcoming masterclass. And I'm doing that masterclass for, let me see. I had to do 13 of them. I've already done 3. So I'm doing 10 more of these master classes to get more practice. Because like I said, I never came out publicly to teach y'all nothing. I was always at the VA, at the city colleges of Chicago, various municipalities around Chicagoland area. I mean, just everywhere, the prison, the jails. So that's where I was. And now I'm sharing my trade secrets that ain't nobody doing. I'm like, even the real estate agents, real estate board and the national, they're like, Yvette, we giving you an award. Here's one of them. I got this award by the president of the Main Street Organization of Realtors in 2025. So they know what I do. They know I house homeless veterans to home ownership, because I was also number 5 in my office of over 700 agents in production. And then I was number 1 in transactions amongst all of my agents in the office where I work now, several times. And think about it, I only house homeless veterans from homeless to their home ownership. Number 1 in transactions, meaning I created more transactions in those years than all the agents individually. So I had more transactions than anybody in the whole company. And that's housing homeless veterans. In the transitional unit, where I was a consultant on several of them, and then also in the rental units, and when they buy a house. And then when they buy a 2-flat, 3 and 4 unit, then they come to my workshop. This is my workshop I do. Let me see. Right here at the VA, the vet centers everywhere. This is the workshop right here in this book to learn how to buy a house, learn how to buy a 3-4 unit. So if you all have not sent me a message over here to the link, wait a second, the link to the workshop is, let me put the link up here. Let me put a star next to it or something. Made for love. Let me see. Oh, here it is. Okay, here's a star. So that's that. All right, thank y'all for being here. Over here on YouTube, LinkedIn, and Facebook. It's like 274 y'all over here. All right. Hey, I'll see y'all tomorrow, 5:15. Tomorrow's Wednesday. Make sure you register. Make sure you register for my masterclass. And other than that, I'll see y'all tomorrow at 5:15 over here on YouTube, LinkedIn, and Facebook. Ciao for now.
Across America, too many of our heroes return home only to face another battle, the fight for stable housing. Veterans are overrepresented in the homeless population, often caught in a system that is complex, slow, and full of barriers. At VetMentors, we're changing that narrative. For over 20 years, we've been boots on the ground, not just identifying the problem, but building real solutions. That's why we created the U.S. Military Veterans Educational and Resource Guide book series, a groundbreaking collection designed to educate, equip, and empower. These guidebooks are written not only for veterans, but also for the communities, organizations, and leaders who serve them. From step-by-step housing models to funding strategies, this series gives social workers, case managers, realtors, and first responders the tools they need to act with speed, dignity, and impact. VetMentors believes housing is not charity. It's a mission, a responsibility, and a pathway to restoring honor. Every guidebook in this series is a resource designed to make sure no veteran is left behind, and no community has to say, "We didn't know how to help." This is how we turn challenges into victories. I'm Yvette Jones Swanson, Army veteran, CEO of VetMentors LLC, and I invite you to join us in rewriting the story for America's veterans.